Hi there, it's Nina Nandagopal at almostpractical.com, and today I want to show you the new 2023 Hobonichi Techo Original Planner in the English version. This is one of my favorite planners. It's unique for a couple different reasons, so I'll show you when we walk through inside, but I wanted to start out with the size. This is an A6 planner, and what that means size-wise, I have my big ruler here that we can look at. So this book is about 6 inches tall, and it's about a little bit bigger. It's about a little larger than 4 inches wide. So basically like a 4x6 photograph, that would be the size of the book. Now, inside the book, the Hobonichi Techo is like a 1 page per day. That's the main spread. But we'll start at the beginning, and I will show you the different pages that they have. So when you open the book, you start with your mini months, which are 2023 and 2024. And then you go to these planning pages that have the month across the top, and going down each column are the numerical days, and corresponding to that are the days of the week that those those days fall on. So, and it starts in December actually of 2022. So December 1st is going to be a Thursday, and you have a line to write an appointment or plan something or a birthday, or you can use this space, in whatever way makes the most sense for you. And it goes all the way through to March of 2024. So you have all of 2023, and then you go to March of 2024. So you can plan ahead a little bit too, especially as the year comes to a close. You have space to write down appointments that are starting to crop up for the new year. Then you go to your 2-page per month spread. And these go from December all the way through to, I believe it will be March of 2024 as well. And what I like here is that when you switch to 2024, you get these big grayed out numbers that tell you that these are the pages for 2024. So when you flip to March, you know what year you're looking at, which is really nice. These 2-page per month layouts have obviously the boxes for each day of the month, but then day of the week, but then you also have a little extra space on the side and across the bottom for notes or things like that. I typically actually like to write the name of the month very big vertically, so that when I flip to it, I can see right away what month I'm looking at instead of looking at these smaller labels in the corner. So once you get past the monthly views, calendar views, you have a couple notes pages, and then you flip right into the days of the week spread. And the way the Hobonichi Techo original book is laid out is that you have 1 blank page for every single day of the year. And I really love this because it's very open-ended. And that's what I find very unique about this book, is you can use this space however you like. They do have a small notation here that says 12, and then like a fork and a knife sort of icon at the bottom. So presumably you could use this space for the appointments that are happening before 12 o'clock, and you could list those out, and then the things that are happening after 12, and then list what your plan is for dinner. But you don't have to use it that way at all. The number there's just one number, and it's very small and off to the side. So if you'd rather list out your to-do list for the day, if you would rather put your appointments down, if you have some, If you'd rather list all the times, you could do that. Or you could use this as a journal and make your entries for each day. So you're pretty disciplined. It kind of keeps you disciplined because there is a blank page for every day that you feel that you should write in your journal. Another way that I use this book is I like to use it to keep track of important things that happen every day. So sort of a cross between a calendar and a journal where, if I have if I have an important conversation with somebody on the phone, I can jot down notes for those phone conversations. I can jot down something that I researched in the day that I want to keep for reference. I know exactly where to go to later on. If you've ever done that, you're researching something online and you find all your answers, but then you forget what they are and you have to do the research again. This little book can help you keep track of your findings, and you can make notes of those. So it can be used as a little notebook as well. And I really like the open-ended nature of this book. Now, as you get to the end of the month, say this is January, so we go to January, your weekdays and Saturday are all in a black ink, and your Sundays are all in a red ink. And then when you get to February, you have a blank lined page to sort of separate the months, and then you move right into February. Now, there are no tabs on this per se, so you do have this number in a darker square here, the number of the month, so you can see on the edge how you'd have to sort of flip to that month to find it. You wouldn't have a tab. So you could certainly get sticky tabs for the months to separate them, but you don't have to do that. So once you get to the end of the Hobonichi, there are some fun pages that they put here that you can use in different ways as well. So when you get to December 31st, which happens to fall on a Sunday, you have these dot grid pages, and there's a bunch of those, so you could take some notes. There's not a whole lot, but certainly if you need a little extra space or something that doesn't really belong on one of the days, you can jot that down here. You have a page for important contacts, and sometimes what I'll do is just stick business cards that I receive onto this page so I know where to find them. You have some international size charts, you have a conversion table, and you have this little ruler that you can also use to measure things in a pinch. And then you have the My 100. And this is very unique to Hobonichi because this is sort of a fun spread where you can write anything you want. Keep track of the top 100 places you visited, or the top 100 restaurants you ate at, or things you're thankful for or grateful for. There's a lot of different ways to use it, and I this past year used mine as things that I was grateful for or memories that I wanted to keep track of. And I didn't keep up with it 100%, but when I go back and look at it and I read some of the things, it's just a really fun walk back through the year of things that happened that I might have forgotten about. And then there's a little Express Yourself in Japanese spread where you can learn some Japanese phrases and words, which is cute. And some secret to Japanese sweets, so you can learn a little bit about Japanese cooking. And the reason, of course, that they have these is because Hobonichi is a Japanese company, and there is a Techo original book exactly like this in a Japanese version. So that is laid out slightly differently, and the major difference is that there's quotes on every page, and these are in English in the English version, and in the Japanese version, they're in Japanese. But I also noticed, I don't have the Japanese version here, but they do have a little checklist up here with the dot grid in this blank space up here, which I really do like, so I wish they had put that in the English version, but it is not here. So This is the Hobonichi Techo original book for 2023. It's really a cute size. It's great for a journal. One thing I wanted to mention is that the cover itself is a little bit like, it's just basically a sort of vinyl covered cardboard. It's not super sturdy. So most people do put their Hobonichi into a case, and you can get a lot of cases online. I'll show you mine. It is this one, and I will link to it in the comments below. I just love it. I use it, every year. I can carry it forward, which is nice. And what I did was I put this Hobonichi plastic cover on top of the fancy cover, I guess. So they didn't come together. This plastic cover is actually from Hobonichi. It's a Hobonichi brand. This inner cover is the decorative cover is not from Hobonichi. It's just something that I found on Amazon. So I will link that below. And what's nice is the cover itself has these bookmarks, because this book, the actual planner, does not have any ribbon type bookmarks inside to mark your page. So to put the cover on, you kind of have to contort your book a little bit. You slip the back cover in there, and some people like to just leave it like that, so you can just have these pockets available to you, and you also have like space to tuck things in behind your book. But I prefer to actually tuck my front cover, and I just slip that in here, and basically it just stays in there all year, so it protects my book. And then I usually use these bookmarks to bookmark the month that I am in, which is December of 2022. We use this one. And then the page of the day that we're at. And this book starts January 1st, so I will just put this bookmark here because it is not January 1st yet. And there you have it. The other thing about these covers, if you would like to explore them further, is this has this nice sort of ziplock zipper shut backing, so you can slip something in there. You could put photographs and things, and because it's clear, people can see them. There is no pocket. It's not a pocket per se. I'm touching the actual cover in here, so it's just for sliding things in there to make that easy. These loops are actually pen loops, and I wish I had a pen here with me, but you can slip a pen through both loops. So a singular pen can go through both loops, and that keeps your book shut so that it doesn't open. You would probably want a thicker pen with possibly a clip, because these loops are kind of big. So a thinner pen would probably slide right through. So just for reference, like I said, this Hobonichi original is an A6 size, and for reference, I do have an A5 planner here as well. It's not Hobonichi. This is the Erin Condren softbound planner, and I can link that below as well. But this is an A5 size, and you can see that it is bigger than the A6 by probably an inch or so, because I believe the A5 is about 7 inches tall and 5 inches wide, give or take a few degrees. So that is the A5. The other thing I want to show you quickly is the Hobonichi Techo Weeks, which I also have. And this I did a separate review for, so you can take a look at it. But I do like to use these two planners together, and that is because the Hobonichi Techo Weeks, first of all, is very slim format, fits into most purses and bags very easily, and it basically has your whole week on one page. So with the Techo original, you have to go to each page to see what's going on for your week, and so you don't get that sort of big picture unless you're just looking at the front, where you would put things, your appointments and things here, but the spaces for each day are a little small. In the weeks, you have the whole week laid out on one page, and then you have a blank page over here. So I like to keep my to-do list for the week on here. I like to keep my appointments and things on here. And I like to use my Techo for notes for every day, for roughly planning out every day, and just, brainstorming, research, notes, things like that I like to keep track of in here. I also wanted to mention that the paper is this Tomoe River paper, which is super thin, but very leak-proof or bleed-proof. So when you write on it, you will see the ghosting on the other side, but the ink doesn't actually seep through the paper. Of course, it depends what kind of pen you're using, and I would recommend that you test out a bunch of different pens that you would like to use in your planner on, a rough page, one of the beginning pages, and see how they work. See if they bleed through to the other side. You can rub on them, see if they smear. I find that gel pens, certain brands, may need a second or two to dry before you can touch them, whereas I use the Erin Condren fine tip markers, and those seem to dry right away. So those are the ones that I like the best on my Hobonichi. But just make a list, write down which marker or pen it is, and see how it holds up. And then you can decide which pens you want to use. So anyway, this is the Hobonichi Techo 2023. I wanted to give you a look at it up close and personal. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up and a like, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and come visit me on my blog, almostpractical.com, where I talk about organizing and productivity and Erin Condren products, Hobonichi products, all kinds of reviews. So thank you so much for joining me today.